Now recently, The Sims have been trying to claim Hot Sim Summer. I know it's because they worked recently with Megan Thee Stallion. However, every year is a Hot Sim Summer in my game thanks to my townie makeovers. And last year I actually did for science a cheeky little experiment to see which masculine sim had the best genetics, who was the best baby daddy for your babies in The Sims 4. And following on from that, I decided why don't we test to see if my townie makeovers, who in my personal opinion are hotter than the default townies. I was so distracted by that hotness, I forgot what I was saying. I was in the middle of the sentence and it literally just poofed out of my brain. But today I'm gonna put it to the test to see if my townie makeovers actually change anything about the results when it comes to who is the best looking baby daddy in The Sims 4. I'm using the same system that I used last time. I basically rank these based on how many votes each one of these masculine sims got. Obviously, Akira Kibo and Don Lothario were the top two. I'm impressed that Akira has kept that top spot since City Living. Like, I am shocked that someone hasn't come to take the throne off him. Don, I get, because he's a base game sim, you know? He's easily accessible in all of the ways. So our first matchup, of course, is the one and only Vladdy Daddy, who is absolutely a daddy. I've actually started doing like overviews of all of my townie makeovers because you lot have been asking for it. And I did say in my first video of that series, I don't know if I'm going to keep my version of Vladdy Daddy the way that he currently is. However, I absolutely will be keeping my Makoa because holy smokes. That man was already attractive, and what do you mean I just managed to make him hotter? We're just gonna go, I'm fairly sure off the first one. I probably should have watched my own video. It is first out of the oven. We have Betty. She is a base game Betty. She is probably one of like the most neutral sims you could possibly have in The Sims 4. He is a vampire. He has taken that from his dad, and let's actually age him up to a young adult so that we can see like all of his features. Ooh, Betty is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Not to discredit Vlad, obviously he is very, very attractive. Betty has like averaged out the features an awful lot. Not bad at all, minus the side swoop of a fringe, which honestly I could live without. And then we need to smush our genetics together, this time with Makoa. Stop, they're already a little cutie. What do you mean? Oh, Vlad, I fear you're about to get knocked out. Oh, I mean, come on now. That is hands down, one of the most attractive sims I've ever seen in my life. I definitely wouldn't even be able to make him. Now, the funny thing is, we're doing this with custom content, but custom content doesn't really like transfer over to sims, so it's not really making a difference. But it's not only custom content that I've added. I've also played around with people's features. Sir, I'm gonna need you to stop looking at me. Julius, no, this is absolutely too much. I love him, Your Honor. I am so sorry to Ricky. Ricky, you know what? You're a little cutie patootie. Maybe not so much when you're, you know, you're doing too much of that vampire. Like, at least you haven't hissed at me. So there's that. You have that going for you. Of course, as usual, Makoa is moving on through to the next round. Next up, Noox and Kyle. 5 feet apart because they are most definitely gay within my game. In fact, I would love to just have them as a couple always, and I feel bad pitting them against one another. I'm saving Julius. I'm sorry. Like, he's so handsome. What do you mean? Oh, am I gonna find a new sim to play with during this? Kyle stays on my sofa, and he also stays apparently in my kids' genetics. Ooh. Now, I did do a video recently where I reacted to my townie makeovers without custom content, and Kyle has a jaw and a chin on him. Like, he is a strong bottom half faced boy, and his kid kind of carries that over. Why are we getting all masculine sims? Where are the girlies? And then we need to mix genetics with his boyfriends. There's the girly. Yes, come on, Noox. Girl dad to Delilah. Delilah, let's see, are you going to be moving to New York City? It's 1,000 miles away tonight, but girl, you look so pretty. She is a little cutie. God, Betty's nose is like taking over everyone, which is actually shocking because like some of these boys do have really strong noses, and she's just got like a regular like little button nose that is a preset, but oh my goodness gracious me, she does look like she belongs in a different century. Looks like she should be writing poems with Emily Dickinson. But I do think Delilah takes this one, so Noox, congratulations, you've made it through to the next round. Oh, my underrated babies are next. I always hate putting Dirk Dreamer up against Salem. I love each one of these boys. Now, for my townie makeover with Dirk, I made him look more like his Sims 2 version. I just wanted like an older grown-up version of the Sims 2. And then Salem, honestly, I just wanted him to be like a little hipster writer. Absolutely love him. Haven't honestly changed him up all that much, so this is definitely gonna be interesting. Feel like both of these are kind of underdogs when it comes to genetics and using them to have cute babies. Just don't feel like I see people using them like as much as you lot were suggesting it. I am gonna get rid of the mustache. I need to judge without the facial hair. Okay, little cutie, little bit basic, but I think that's Betty. I don't know why Betty's genetics are like so strong. Is it because I'm like choosing her first? I have no idea. Definitely has Dirk's eyes. Luckily, no blue-eyed stare in sight. Ooh. Oh no, stop. That's one of the cutest child sims I may have ever seen in my life. What a little sweetie. And then this is who we got. I have to take the fedora off. Very strong chin. I have a feeling that's come from Salem. I feel like he doesn't have that strong of a chin though under there. Yeah, look, like he's a little cutie. Oh no, seeing Salem without a beard on is like actually seeing Salem naked. I think I would prefer to see him in his maid outfit than to see him without his beard, because what the hell is that? Hugh, let me take one last look at you. You are such a little pretty sim, so I'm gonna go with the one and only Dirk Dreamer this time around. Right, let's have a little look at this in my last video that I did and see if it is the same. Ooh, Noox creeping on it in there. Kyle, I'm so sorry. My townie makeover has knocked you down a peg. Honestly, it's probably really, really good that I'm actually naming all of these sims. I would be interested to know, did you know who these sims were on like first glance, or are you like, that's Noox, or whoever it may be? Moving on to the right hand side, we have the one and only Bob Pancakes versus Johnny Zest. Oh, I love my townie version of Bobby. He's just so feckin' sweet, dude. And then Johnny, I'm so like happy with how Johnny turned out. Although he does look so much like Joe Alwyn, it sometimes scares me. Like, I legit wasn't even thinking of Joe Alwyn when I made him, but it's so funny because whenever I like work on him or Malcolm on stream or like in a video, so many people are like, that's Joe Alwyn if I'm working on one or the other. So clearly I got the brotherly genetics in there, which I feel didn't exist originally between those. Here's Bob and Betty. Oh my god, newbies, is that you? I do like how Bob and Eliza are the like Sims 4 take on the newbies. All right, now you're doing Bob dirty. You're doing Bob dirty with that jawline, because what do you mean? I like how he's really like showing it off. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna grow facial hair over this part of my face just so I can show you my chin. You are so welcome. Gregory, you know what? I respect the hustle. I mean, she's giving absolutely nothing right now, and everyone is spawning with this hair recently. So many of my townies have aged up with this hair. Sims 4 genetics are completely wild. You will never ever be able to call them. You actually look like base game Johnny. I don't know whether it's the hair that's doing it, but you look more like base game Johnny Zest child than you do my townie makeover version. But that one is going to Johnny. Caleb versus Lou. Ooh, a cult versus a cult. Vampire versus werewolf. It's the new Team Edward, Team Jacob. Watch it. I probably made that joke in the last video as well. Now, I am not happy with my makeover of Caleb. He is unfinished. I started working on him, had a breakdown, you know, quit out the game, said I don't like him and I need to change him. Bring on the palest child you have ever seen. Ooh, they are a vampire. Don't hiss at me, please don't hiss at me. That will take you down. Okay, I mean, damn. You are a cutie. Genuinely look like you could be like a vampire hunter, more so than a vampire. Biggest eyes I have ever seen. I am excited to see Lou and Betty's kid's nose. Like, if that isn't the most gorgeous nose I've ever seen, then I don't know what happened with their genetics. Sims, don't fail me now. It truly is like playing Russian roulette. You never ever know how they are gonna look. Oh my god, we got a werewolf kid as well. No like human hybrids. They were just like, we are straight up a cult, just like our daddies. I am gonna get rid of that nose mask. This one is really tough. I actually don't know who to choose for. They're so completely different. Like, these are two very different Sims. This may be unpopular opinion, but I'm giving Caleb the win. And now we have a category I like to call the over 25s. Remember when we all watched X Factor and we thought that the over 25s were like decrepit? And now I'm 31 and I can safely say, well, you know, I do have sciatica and my knee was sore the other day after a Kesha concert, but I did stand the entire time, which I was quite impressed with. So maybe we were actually accurate as children, but we have Mortimer Goth versus Father Winter. Yes, people actually chose Father Winter to daddy their babies. Is it because they get a special trait? Probably not. Is it because Simmers love a cheeky woohoo? Yes, absolutely. Out here looking for those jingle bells. Feel like you need to know this information. With a daddy Goth, I actually made him over before we actually got the like Sims townie makeovers of these townies, so he's kind of based off the old one. I mean, that kid just looks like a goth. Like, oh my god, that's Cassandra's cool older sister right there. Bailey Goth, I'm changing it. You aren't even a McIntyre. Holy smokes. Sick ass goth sister. Why do they not have a cooler older sibling? Maybe from like a previous marriage before Bella. I'm so here for this lore. Father Winter might not even stand a chance here because that is honestly one of the most attractive Sims I've ever seen in my entire life. By my standards, that's a pretty attractive Father Winter. Time to ho it up with Father Winter. Elsa, is that you? Let it go. I'm talking to you specifically. Let it go. Oh, she's also a little cutie. Why have they both aged up with like absolutely wild makeup on them? I mean, Natalie, you're a cutie, but unfortunately, I don't think you can compare to Daddy Goth's child. Sorry, I also feel like I didn't show you Mortimer, but this is what Morty was working with. I mean, so flippin' suave. Kind of spoiled the results of that one, but it's absolutely Morty. Of course it is. Ooh. Johnny has kept his rightful place. However, Caleb has kicked Lou off, and Morty has also replaced Father Winter. This is getting interesting. I like that we kind of give, if you move into the next round, a second chance. Like, you get a reroll of your fate. You get to see the span of what, like, all of their kids could be. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ty, but I think Julius might have taken it as the better looking sibling. I don't know, maybe it's the hat that is throwing me off. Let me just get rid of that. Still, definitely not a bad looking dude, but you, I'm so sorry, are no Julius. Julius owns my entire heart, actually. Not you trying to bring the Akira energy with those fish scale trousers. That can pick up your man. Here he is, Mullet Man himself. He was already your go-to, but like, I mean, townie makeover version, come on now. Please don't roast my townie makeovers. I don't think I can emotionally handle that right now. Again, these two feel like quite similar on my weird vibe scale that I have curated. Makoa, I'm so sorry. I'll always love you, baby, but Akira gets it this time. Noox versus Dirk, Dreamer. Unknown parent? No, we know exactly who your father is. Ooh. Okay, definitely switching it up this time around. Already looks so much like Noox. We definitely know who your daddy is. We do not need a paternity test on this one. He is the spitting image of Noox. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's actually the first kid that we've had that looks so ridiculously like their father. Even the like vibe of the outfit, the shorts with the walking boots and then the suit on top, business on top, eco-activism on the bottom. I love how many times I've roasted the genetics just for it to be like, oh, I heard you were chatting shit. Here you go. Let me serve you someone who looks so like their father. And then we get Davion. These two are so different from one another. They are so like incomparable. Why does this kind of give the kid from Spy Kids? It's giving, is his name Junie in Spy Kids? I'm all about that bass, no trouble. He's married to Megan Trainor, if you didn't know. Dirk definitely takes that one. And then we got Don versus Johnny and Caleb versus Morty. Of course, the OG baby daddy of the Sims 4 base game. Honestly shocked that he was in this and Jay Huntington III wasn't, because I feel like so many people used to use Jay Huntington III as baby fodder. But Don, he's the OG since The Sims 2. He keeps his crown, just like his skinny jeans stay on in bed. But once again, we are gonna mix with Johnny's genetics, first of all, because we have already seen what one of his kids looks like. Is it just gonna look like Johnny base game 2.0 again? Let's see. Not the Batu. Oh no, stop. She is super cute. Still looks like base game version of Johnny. I think it's the small eyes. I feel like the base game full version of Johnny has such small eyes. And weirdly, they're like transcending through my townie makeover. I don't know how, because he I mean, he does actually have pretty small eyes. I did keep that as probably one of his like main features. This is the thing. I like change the way that Sims look, obviously, during my townie makeovers, but I definitely try and keep like the features that like draw me to those Sims. So for Johnny, it is like those like eyes of his. They are like so piercing to me, and I didn't want to remove those. This is going to be so interesting. I feel like whenever you have kids with Don Lothario, they're just baby Dons. I swear. It's like he clones himself. No matter who Don has a baby with, there's a video idea. I'm gonna create like 6 different Sims, and I'm gonna all have them have babies with Don Lothario. You can always tell. You watch anyone's like 100 baby challenge or legacy challenge, and if they've romanced Don Lothario at some point and had a kid with him, you can always tell who's Don's kids are. He has like such a genetic imprint. Hits every single that's just Don. That's just a baby Don Lothario. What do you mean? Ooh, this one's really, really tough. Like, they're both actually such cute Sims. Ooh, this is really, really tough. She looks a little bit more like defaulty, but I think Johnny stays winning. Things are looking up for Johnny Zest. What can I say? I don't think he made it this far last time from what I remember, but I don't remember much. We've made too many babies. My creator sim is now going so slowly. It's really chugging along. Where's my Renesmee? No, stop, because why does it actually kind of look a little bit like Renesmee? Lou, stay away from her. Get a job. I'm now figuring out probably why I don't really vibe with my townie makeover of Caleb Vatore. It's just because he has no like qualities to his face whatsoever. He's just like there. He's just, you know, he's a dude. I fear the second Goth child is absolutely not gonna be anywhere near as cool as Bailey, but that might be quite good because, you know, I might not have the blatant favoritism. Would you look at that? Another Goth child. You can tell that they belong in the Goths. Kind of like Don Lothario's kids. They just have such an aura about them. Karina, who is very, very cute, versus Janie. Karina, you're definitely not as cool as your older sister. But you know what you'll do, because Mortimer takes the win. The last 4. Akira versus Dirk, Johnny versus Morty. Practically all changed. Akira's taken over from Makoa. Last time, Kyle won. Father Winter had a winning streak going on, which is shocking. And then Don beat Johnny. It's all different results. This is so interesting. Drum roll, please. Akira is up first. The game is like, please, please stop pumping out these children. Let it end. I need to close down Creator Sim. It's too much. Creator Sim has carried my game for the last 5 years. So, you know, it's coming up on a well-deserved break. I'm so sorry. If you want any of these kids putting up on the gallery, let me know in the comments down below. But they are all going to have the Friend of the Animals aspiration because it's just like the easiest one to click on. So, this is Akira's son. Take that beard off just so we can see the genetic makeup. I mean, yeah, that actually looks more like Caleb's kid, I swear. They're giving Edward Cullen. I love how all of Dirk's kids have had his eyes. You are so, so cute, Ashlyn. I am starting to think, do I sometimes make my Sims like faces like too long? Because I feel like so many of these kids, I could literally just go like, whoop, Dirk takes it. The Akira Sims are gonna sue me for slander against their boy. Is it time for just another Goth? Ooh, oh, whoa, okay, well, we're working with something different, at least Mortimer. I highly doubt they are gonna grow up with like that pink hair, considering, yep, there we go. Yes, we are working with yet another Goth. How did you know? This is Hannah. Again, Hannah and Bailey, twins from a previous relationship. Oh my god. I think I might just be in love with like the Goth family. I mean, I say that as if I'm the only one, as if I'm special. There's something about the Goth women that just like, whew, making me nervous in front of this camera. Stop looking at me. My key lights have never felt more like one giant microscope. Johnny, I don't know if you'll be able to give me something that could honestly go against Hannah over here. Weirdly, doesn't have Johnny's tiny eyes this time around. First child from Johnny Zest that doesn't actually just like replicate the base game version of him. However, it wasn't good enough. I'm so sorry, Johnny, but Mortimer has got you beat. Dirk versus Morty. We already know that this is different from the first one that we did. So my townie makeovers have clearly changed the results. If you would have asked me who I thought would have been in the final from each one of these brackets, I probably would have said Makoa from this one, and I probably would have said Don Lothario, which is exactly what happened in the OG. That's funny, because if you would have asked me from the OG, I probably would have said Salem, because so many people used to tell me that Salem has the absolute like cutest babies in The Sims 4, and I probably also would have stuck with Don Lothario, or maybe even possibly Lou. But even though I absolutely adore Lou, and I think he's so handsome, I do feel like sometimes the way that genetics work in The Sims 4, with really strong features like Lou's nose, for example, it can take a wild turn in this game. Should we, for the final, I know the whole way through we've mixed. No, we're gonna keep it the same. I don't want to start mixing it up right in the final. I was gonna have like Dirk's genetics first and then add Betty into the mix, but I don't actually know if that changes anything within Creator Sim. I can already tell we have killer cheekbones on this sim, and I'm not even talking about the fact that they're so red and highlighted, and boom, oh my god, you are so cute. Dirk Dreamer, underrated baby maker. Those of you who have Get Famous, let me know if you've been sleeping on him or you've been, you know, having a cheeky little woohoo, because every single one of his kids has been so gorgeous. Ooh. Okay, and here's Morty's last offering. Phoenix versus Courtney. Courtney, let's age you up real quick. Oh, I do apologize. Oh, not as much as a goth, honestly. I am gonna remove her makeup just for a second, and then I'm kind of gonna give her like these eyes. I mean, still absolutely stunning. Two very different Sims. You have one who's like really sharp features, like looks absolutely snatched, and then another sim with like much rounder and kind of much softer features than the sharp angles that we see with Courtney. Underrated king Dirk Dreamer beats everyone for me though. I think he is the winner here, which congratulations, Dirk Dreamer. Sims 2 Dirk Dreamer supremacy. If this doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. Screw giving us townie refreshers. Just make that man have his blue eyes back. Our last kid didn't even have blue eyes, and you know what? She carried. She beat the competition. She was absolutely stunning. Phoenix, I love you. Dirk, I love you so much. They did you truly so dirty, but you know what? It doesn't even matter, because my townie makeover is here to give you the justice that you deserve. This is the original with all the OG Sims, and Makoa was actually the winner of that one. So this was Don's kid, and then this was Makoa's kid. Yeah, I made the right decision. But you know what? Phoenix, may have taken it all, even over the old babies. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Honestly, really just interesting to see how my townie makeovers can have an effect on like what their kids look like. I guess you don't really realize kind of like the knock-on effects of makeovers, but also even though they were different from like the original kids that we probably saw, I do feel like this just kind of proves that when I go into my townie makeovers, I do try to keep features that I think make up a sim, and that was kind of showed off the most, I guess, by Johnny Zest, Mortimer, Don Lothario. Like the fact that their kids kind of just looked similar to their original children, and you could just like tell what families they were a part of, was really cool to see. So to everyone who's like, it's not a townie makeover if you change their features, I disagree. As long as you kind of honor the original sim, even if you don't want to honor the original sim, how about we just like don't gatekeep what you can and can't do in your Sims game, as long as you're not hurting anyone. There's a difference between like whitewashing your Sims or like straight washing your Sims and like actively going out of your way to post about that, to be like, I don't agree with these people in my game, then like changing a couple of features just to make the Sims fit into your save file. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Congrats to Dirk Dreamer. I'm telling you, if you have Get Famous, get making some babies with him, because he is very much worth it. And I have known it since Get Famous came out. That's why he was my very first baby daddy in my Gold Digger challenge. I'm sorry for like how washed out I am. I didn't close my blinds, and now I'm realizing I probably should have closed my blinds. But I appreciate you all so much. If you would like any of these children up on the gallery, let me know, and I will speak to you all in my next one, which I think we are gonna do the baby mamas soon. I think we're gonna find out which feminine sim has the best genetics for baby making in The Sims 4. So if you have strong feelings about that, let me know down in the comments, because I need to go through, I need to add up all of the votes, and then I need to do a little bit of waiting to see who is going to take that crown.